Finals. I'm Kevin Nagani, live here from San Francisco alongside El Duncan in Bristol. And no doubt the Warriors are perfect here inside the Chase Center in the postseason, but tonight will be their first finals game inside the Chase Center ever. Of course, this arena built in 2019, and they're playing against the team that has been battle-tested on the road, those Celtics.
They certainly are. 7-2 on the road, much more on that. And, Kevin, Niners brass channeling Mr. T when they were asked about trading away their star Deebo Samuel today. So Adam Schefter is standing by with the latest. But, Kevin, let's just start this show, where we start every show, with our top headlines. It's the end of an era. After playing for 9 teams over 17 seasons, quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick calling it quits. Fitzmagic, a 7th-round pick out of Harvard, threw for nearly 35,000 yards, 229 touchdowns over the course of his career. And he confirmed that in a text message to former teammates today. Avs goalie Darcy Kemper going to miss Game 2 of the Western Conference Finals with an upper body injury. So Pavel Francouz is going to get the start Thursday night. The Avs lead the best-of-7 series with the Oilers 1-0. Take the over on goals, right? Nike founder Phil Knight and Dodgers part owner Alan Smolensky have offered more than $2 billion to purchase the Blazers, sources tell our Adrian Wojnarowski. Talks are expected to continue with Knight's team, aiming to keep the team in Portland. And how about this? All hail the king. LeBron James, now the first active NBA player with a net worth of $1 billion. Kevin, that's $1 million with a B. According to Forbes, he's made more than $385 million in just NBA salary alone.
That sounds like El Duncan money right there. I can tell you. The night is finally upon us. Game 1 of the NBA Finals between the Celtics and Warriors over on ABC, less than 3 hours away. Boston making their first NBA Finals appearance since 2010, where they lost to the Lakers. The two franchises tied for the most championships. Celtics 4 wins away from number 18. Golden State making their 6th NBA Finals appearance in the last 8 seasons. Warriors have 6 NBA titles as a franchise, tied with the Bulls for 3rd most all time. Now, the core for the last 3 Warriors titles, Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They're the first trio each with at least one All-NBA selection to make the finals 6 times together over the last 50 seasons. And how about the duo from Beantown, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? The Boston Stars, they're the 4th team to make the finals in the last 40 years with their top 2 regular season scores, both age 25 or younger. SportsCenter on the road is presented by Rocket Mortgage, as we have our fantastic reporters Tim Bontemps and Brian Windhost joining us now with much more here. I brought up the duo here, Tim, and you know, we're looking at January, and the conversation is breaking up that duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Now they're getting ready for their first finals. What have they said about this week?
Well, what they've said, Kevin, is that, you know, there's been a lot of talk about this Warriors team getting back to the NBA Finals and all the trials and tribulations they've been through. And for the Celtics, it's really the same thing. You know, over the past several years, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum got to the Eastern Conference Finals 3 times. They lost every time until this year. They've been through, last year they were a 500 team. In January, they were an under 500 team this year, and people, like you said, thought maybe they should break this team up. Maybe they're not even going to make the playoffs. And now they've gotten through all that. They went through Kevin Durant, Giannis Antetokounmpo, and Jimmy Butler. They made it here to the NBA Finals and finally broke through to the biggest stage for the first time.
Okay, when you look at depth here, that's going to be a big storyline, especially the injuries on the other side with the Warriors. They've had a week of rest here.
Yeah.
But, Wendy, when you look at the injuries, Otto Porter Jr., questionable. Andre Iguodala, questionable. Another key, Gary Payton II, questionable. If he plays tonight, that is Payton. What kind of impact could he have?
I'm expecting Gary Payton to be active. How much he plays, that's an open question. In interviews over the last couple of days, he's been asked about his status, and he's been a little vague. And I don't know if that's gamesmanship or him being honest, but particularly when he was asked about that shooting elbow that he broke in that series against Memphis, he's not really been forthcoming about how well he can shoot, how comfortable he is shooting the ball. And already with Draymond Green in the lineup, where you think the Celtics are just not going to guard him, watch for Boston to test Gary Payton if he gets out on the court, whether he's really willing to shoot the basketball. But obviously, if he's able to go, it's a huge addition to the Warriors defense. It's going to need a lot of perimeter poise and a lot of perimeter length and quickness against this terrific Celtics.
Yeah, you mentioned the length because the size advantage is there on Boston, right? You need some bodies there to help Golden State on the defensive side. Thank you so much, guys, as we get you ready here. 2.5 hours live SportsCenter. Of course, the first hour on ESPN, getting you ready for the lineup here. That is Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And, of course, coming up later on in the program, how about Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins, Doris Burke, Raptors head coach Nick Nurse, Mark J. Spears, and the NBA Countdown crew checking in throughout this 2.5-hour edition of SportsCenter.
We'll start with you, Mano. It's the Celtics and the Warriors. How do you see this playing out? Man, I'm gonna have to go with the Warriors. I was never a Celtics fan. You know, I'm from New York, so I was, you know, from Brooklyn, so was never with the Celtics. So I'm going with the with Golden State.
Golden State. Well, Golden State's been my go-to team probably for the past 10 years. Definitely Boston and New York has a love-hate relationship, so you know we're not rooting for Boston. I'm kind of mad at Boston because I got floor season tickets in Miami, and I haven't been to a game this year because I've been running, but I was hoping they slip into the championship, and then I was going to go to all the championship games, and then Boston ruined that for me. So now I need my man Curry to let off a 30 clip at them so we can do what we do and go home with that championship. You heard me?
I love it. So there's going to be a lot of debate. ESPN had a list of the top 75, and Steph was like 16, and KD was like 12. So one of the debates that we're having is if Steph wins a championship and gets a Finals MVP, can he pass KD? So I'll start with you, Jones. What do you guys think about ranking those two players amongst the greatest?
Who has more championships?
Steph.
So the numbers are wrong off top. What is going on? You gotta have your chips up. Like Steph is in a game with Mike and them almost, but he got like 3 right now. About to go on 4, something like that.
Yeah, he'll tie LeBron if he win this one. What about you, Mano?
Yeah, I feel the same way. He got the rings. He has the rings, so he got the hardware. They need to give it to him.
So, Mano, you mentioned that.
He's gonna need some of this.
Mano, you mentioned you're from Brooklyn. I want to talk to you about the Brooklyn Nets. There's so much drama last year.
Right.
Kyrie in and out, James Harden getting traded, Ben Simmons getting hurt, getting surgery. What do you think about the Brooklyn Nets right now?
You know how excited we were when we got all those guys? Kyrie, KD, Ben Simmons. I mean, we were super excited. I mean, this is Brooklyn. We needed this. Right now, I mean, it's starting to feel like Brooklyn Nets has the same curse that the Knicks has.
Don't try to put that on the Knicks. It's a New York. It's a New York thing. It's a New York thing,
man. Because we had a stacked up squad of all-star, like superstar players. And I feel like right now it's kind of tricky. We in a very shaky place.
So the Lobby Boys album is available right now on streaming services. For those that haven't listened to it yet, what do you want to tell them? Why should they tap in?
They got it's a little bit for everybody. You know, we actually found the formula. We was able to tap into a sound that I don't think nobody was able to do yet. When you listen to the album, we was able to grab a lot of the classic, hip hop beats and then modernize them. And we bridged the gap between, maybe late 90s and what's going on right now. So we got a lot of dope features, from Fabio to Fabulous, to Young M.A., and it's just a well-rounded project.
And it's specifically, I mean, this album you can listen to anytime, any season, but we specifically put